I did start the recording. Hello, everyone. We are here today to discuss survey methodology, or essentially, to make it sound a little less scary, survey do's and don'ts. So today I have with me Joe Hamlin, the Library Data Coordinator, and I am Kathy Kaczynski, the Statewide Library Services Analyst. We both work at the Library of Michigan, which is the State Library of Michigan located in Lansing. Super fun.
Absolutely, and we didn't say this at the beginning, but welcome to Save the Data webinar number 9. So we have 12 scheduled so far, and we are always looking for your input on things you would like to discuss or have us cover. So please keep that in mind. Hi, Jennifer, did you have a question, or are you responding to the raise your hand comment?
So speaking of Joe saying that we'd like to get feedback, please, please, please fill out our survey. Part of the reason why we were able to do this is we received funding from IMLS, and to do that we need to provide them feedback, and for us to do that we need you to provide us with feedback. And we also have a question here, which is really fun. That is, what would you like to learn more about? So the Save the Data is essentially going through all the different types of research data and data that libraries both collect and create on their end. So we're kind of trying to get down to the basics and make everyone feel more comfortable with data. Joe, could you do me a favor and mute your mic, because I can hear myself talking like a tiny voice in my head.
How's that?
Mute it.
I thought you said move my mic.
No.
Oh, yeah, I can move it.
Yeah, we're getting some feedback. Okay. Thank you. There we go. So I guess the very first question that we really want to reach and get to is, when do I make a survey? Because there tends to be this knee-jerk reaction, and I won't say society today, but especially in libraries, for people to just throw out surveys seemingly just because. This unfortunately leads to survey fatigue in many of our patrons, members, customers, whichever word you like to use. And it's something that we also kind of run across on our own as well. You see a survey maybe at the beginning of this presentation, for example, and just get that internal, oh no, not again, or you just skip it completely. And because of the survey fatigue, I'm going to start off this presentation with the stick rather than the carrot. And that is when you shouldn't make a survey. And essentially, you shouldn't make a survey. I'm going to read through these really quickly. If you don't want or need to measure anything, if you don't have a plan on the best way to share it, if you really only need to hear from a few people, or if you're unable to test the survey. But don't worry, this is not the extent of it. I'm going to go in deeper with all of these. But the reason for all of this is a survey should not exist in a vacuum. A lot of the surveys that are sent out into the world today are something where they make it, it goes out, they never fix it, it just sort of exists as its own thing. And often a lot of people don't go through all the data that they receive at the same end. So it's just people taking surveys just for the sake of there being a survey and saying that you took the survey. So in order to make sure your survey doesn't exist in a vacuum, you should work through and establish what you want to measure, identify your target group, figure out how will you reach them, because the questions you write and how you write the questions will be really determined by the way that you're going to send it out to people. You're not going to do, long answer responses if it's going to be a cell phone SMS poll. It's not going to work out in the same way. You should write your first draft, test it, and then you should monitor it when you work it out. And I say all these things because there is no all-encompassing perfect survey. Everything's going to change depending on these 5 different methods of, creating a survey. Even if you do everything that you think is perfect at it, you may not end up with what ends up being a perfect survey, which is why you need to do 4 and 5 again and again and again to get closer and closer to the most perfect survey. So the first one of these is please figure out who you want to hear from. You need to have your audience in mind when you do this, or else you're going to try and get something that covers everyone, but it's not going to work for anyone if you end up with something like that. So you need to figure out who you want to hear from, and when you're looking at that group of people, you need to determine are they a large enough population or sample that you can send a survey out to? If it's only a handful of people, for example, the second one we have here, feedback on the content of current story times by the regular attendees, an interview or just a casual conversation may be better than shoving another survey in their face. If it's a lot of people you need to reach out to, if it's someone you don't have easy access to for an interview, or most importantly, if it's something that absolutely needs to be anonymous, a survey is going to be a much better bet for you to go. And then, as I said before, you need to decide how you will share the survey before you write it. And one of the biggest things I'm going to say is for deciding which way you want to share it is, will social desirability have a big impact on the results? People like to be liked by other people. You don't want to be seen as a mean person. So if someone comes up and asks, hey, am I doing a great job? You're more likely to say yes, even if you don't think it, because it's in person. So that goes back to, who do you want to target and what are you trying to measure? How great a program was is something you may want to do more anonymous and have a paper survey or a digital survey, something where it isn't face-to-face, whereas good times for a program is something you could do face-to-face, over the phone, things like that, because it's more by the book and less touchy-feely with how you're doing it. And then you also have to think about, how much time do you have to administer the survey? If it's an in-person asking people on the street with a clipboard, that requires a lot of staff time. If you're doing to complete data entry, if paper surveys, obviously that's going to take more time to input the data back into whichever spreadsheet or program you're using to do that. And then ultimately to finish the data collection. If you're doing, something where you need answers by the end of the day, digital is probably better than a mail survey. And then once again, do you need it to be anonymous? Sorry, Joe? Sorry, Joe is still muted, but he wanted to talk about the audience as well. So.
Right. Kathy mentioned a digital survey. Do keep in mind, when yes, you're after fast results and you'll get them with a digital survey, but you're only getting a small segment of your population, probably a pretty good sized segment of your population at this point, because everyone's got a smartphone, everyone's got a computer or a tablet, or most everyone. But yeah, when you make those decisions, if you're going to go with a single type of survey instrument, look at who your audience is that you're aiming for and make sure that it's a tool that they can use. That was my 2 cents.
Thank you. And yes, also where you share that out. So if it's a digital survey, if you send it out via email to a bunch of people on a listserv, that might get a different response than if you just post it on your website. And really every little effect, it's like a series of dominoes, can change the sort of answers you get and the responses you get. If it's sent out from someone who maybe has more clout in the community, you might get a higher response than if you have the intern send it out. At the same time, if you're trying to interview teens, maybe getting another teen to run the survey will get more honest responses than if you have the director of the library do it. There's a little bit of give and take for everything. And then finally, do you need it to be anonymous? With most of these, with privacy and everything involved, I lean towards doing anonymous whenever possible. But if it is, once again, something where I just want to get the feedback of, Chuck, Tina, and Alan from the Storytime sessions, maybe it's not something that needs to be absolutely anonymous. So just how you're going to be doing that also determines what you're doing. And I kind of run through these these are all taken from handouts from the Research Institute for Public Libraries, which is a great conference I highly recommend to everyone. But they had modes of administration for surveys handouts. And these have the pros and cons for all of the different types of formats. There's online, which once again, it can be anonymous. You don't have to worry as much about the social desirability bias. And it has a lot of quick sort of give and take for data entry and collection. The cons, once again, you have no opportunity to clarify. This is one that actually kind of came back to attack me one day. I used the term post-millennial in a survey we were trying to gauge different generations, and a lot of people, because it is, jargon, an obscure term for many people, saw that not as people born after the generation of millennials, aka younger than millennials, and instead they saw it as everyone who is older than millennials. So it skewed the data results, and it wasn't something that we could have the face-to-face interaction to clarify for that. It's also, as Joe said, limited to online users. So if you have someone who doesn't have an internet connection, doesn't have a smartphone, you're not going to hear their voice. SMS and text. These are becoming more and more popular. I see less for complete surveys and more for polls, maybe before and after workshops. You have a number, you can set it up with a nice little online software platform, and you can have people text their answer to a number, and usually you can give them an A, B, C, things like that. It can be anonymous. If you have a large enough group, it's kind of awkward if there's only about 4 or 5 of you and they can see you typing and then you send your answer, and then it's not so anonymous because everyone knows you're the one who said A. So depending on how you do it, it can be good. Once again, it's limited to cell phone number users. It kind of changes the sort of questions you can ask, things like that. And I'm going to also say, as we're doing this, I have this, I don't have this saved. All the information is here, but if you would like information, like the full handout, I can give that to you as well. Just simply give me an email. Our emails are at the bottom of each slide. In person, this is another one where it's, as you can expect, face-to-face, moderate speed of data collection. It's highly dependent on your staff time. Depending on data entry can change. This has it listed as a con, but if you're, for example, walking around instead of with a clipboard with an iPad, you can automatically put it right in. So it really changes around, but there is a lack of anonymity. And once again, you have that face-to-face interaction. People are going to try and be nice to you. So you get that. You hope, yeah, you hope they're going to be nice to you. If it's probably a bad sign if people are going to be really nasty to your face and something might be happening. And then mail's a fun one. You can potentially reach all of the people in a geographic area. Once again, you always have that bias of people choose to answer surveys. You're not going to force them into it, maybe with the census, but that's pretty much it. There's many types of questions, but you once again can't change them after the fact. If someone gets confused, if someone is upset about something, you know, there's no way to tell them and tell them exactly what you mean by that question. And I think the biggest con for this one is postage is costly, especially depending on the amount of people you want to reach. If you're reaching every single person in your service area, it can get extremely expensive really quickly. And then, I actually left it out because there is one more, and it is a phone survey. And I left it out because I think there's so many cons to it that while I will say that you should be aware that phone surveys are a method, you don't have the anonymity. People are less likely to complete it if they have phone anxiety or things related to that. It can be extremely costly, whether it's for staff time or whether you hire it out to someone else, and it can have all of the other cons of pretty much every other sort of survey that we went through, where you can't change it, the answers are limited. I went through an entire political phone survey one time where it was a computer on the other end and not a person, and it was for a specific political party, and they never asked me if I was going to be voting for the other political party. They just said, which candidate are you going to vote for, and listed theirs. So it's one of those issues where, once again, it limits what you're doing. So the next do, test and refine your work. As I said earlier, I had that issue with the post-millennial question that I had going on. And this was an example of where I tested it with coworkers and I tested it with other people in libraries, which is really good, but I didn't have a chance to test it with the actual group of people that we were surveying. So once we did get that going out in the sample, I was able to go back and change the question with the wording, so I had the birth years next to each generation for what it was doing, and that allowed us, after that round of iteration, to start getting the correct answers and better questions of what was going on. And as you can imagine, for that case it was jargon, but regardless of how you do it, you'll never really know how people are going to respond. So if you're not sure what's happening, I have put together this lovely list with the help, once again, of the Research Institute for Public Libraries of how to write clear-cut questions. So the first one is use everyday vocabulary. Don't, we fall into this quite a bit in libraries. We say circulation. We use jargon and acronyms. So we have all these other fun things. I suggest if you really want to try and use everyday vocabulary, because once again, we also forget, you know, we're pretty educated people. We forget what everyday vocabulary is. I highly recommend using the Hemingway app. It's a free website. You can just Google, I think it's hemingwayapp.com, but I'd Google it just to be sure. It gives you the grade level of what, you know, what you're writing, what it is. When we're redoing the Michigan E-Library website right now, and we're using that for almost every single page, it's been extremely helpful, especially with the kids pages. So if you're, you know, doing a survey with kids or doing a survey with younger grades, or maybe a literacy class for adults, you want to make sure that what you're asking them isn't out of their range. And then again, jargon and acronyms. Don't say like OPACs. Just say public computers, things like that. Avoid wording that is ambiguous or unclear. That especially happens with when you combine it with the next one, where you have more than one idea in each question. For example, how often do you attend story time and puppet shows at the library? Well, what if they only attend story times and they have never attended a puppet show, but they attend every single story time that's possible? It's going to change and skew the answers. So just make sure you're absolutely clear with what you're saying and that you limit it to one idea per question. So split that one that I just gave into two. How often do you attend story times, and how often do you attend puppet shows? Now this next one, it's a little controversial, Joe. It's a little controversial. It's ask mostly closed-ended questions. So for surveys, if you really want to get the best bang for your buck in terms of speed of evaluating and completion, you're going to want to ask mostly the close-ended. And this is, if you're doing something like an SMS poll, you definitely want to ask close-ended questions. It's pretty much the only thing you can do. But I would say leave some open-ended questions. It'll especially help with some of the, you know, if there's multiple options or you want to make sure that everyone's accounted for, one or two at the end is probably for the best. Joe?
Can you give us an example of close-ended versus open-ended questions? Because you're using jargon.
Yes, I am using jargon. Oh, this is so embarrassing. I should just, I'm going to go sit in a quiet room after this and think about my choices. So a closed-ended question would be, which peninsula do you live in the state of Michigan? A, Upper Peninsula, B, Lower Peninsula. An open-ended question would be something where you say, which peninsula do you live in the state of Michigan, and you just leave a text box. And this can give you some interesting answers, I will say. I tried to make a question once where it was essentially a closed-ended question. It was, how long have you been working on library boards? And I gave them a list of options for that. So I had 0 to 9 years, 10 to 19 years, et cetera, et cetera. I also had an other button for people who, you know, fell outside of the realm of the range of dates I had, which I thought was all encompassing, but you never know. Maybe someone just joined the board, which you think would be 0 to 9, but it's not. I had 54% of one population, I'm not going to say who, clicked other and then wrote 7 in.
Yep.
Yeah.
Oops.
Yep. So that would be an example of, and I'm going to go over this kind of briefly later on, but make sure if you do offer the other, it's to account for everyone, and that it's something where you hopefully won't have to go back and recode everything to make it fit. So I had to go back and I had to, you know, switch it. So instead of saying 7, it said 0 to 9, so I could actually get viable results for my question. This is a fun one though. Avoid bias in the wording of your questions and answer choices. Political surveys, regardless of parties, love doing this. They're like, you know, how great a job is the president doing today? And it's like, wonderful, excellent, fantastic, no other choices that you have going on there, which once again also leads you to, my computer screen just fell asleep. This is great. Okay, make sure there is an answer choice for everyone. I will guarantee every single person listening to this has run across a survey in their life where they have responded with, I don't fit into any of these categories, this isn't right. And it makes you kind of feel uncomfortable. You either try to figure out, oh, maybe I fit here, maybe I don't fit here, or you just skip it completely. So if just to make everyone feel welcome, that would be a good place to have the other. And then this one you'd think, it's kind of related once again to the political survey one, is make sure rating scales have an equal number of positive and negative choices. If you have 2 positives, make sure you have 2 negatives. The jury is out on whether you need to have a neutral one in the middle. Some people really love having that neutral there for people who really don't care. Other people think that you should force people into a positive or negative. It isn't.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm one of the neutral people. I think that needs to be there just to show if I'm measuring a data element and people are completely apathetic about it, I want to know that too.
But if you're doing something where you absolutely, for example, know you either want to make a change or you don't want to make a change, and there is no neutral ground, you have to kind of force people into that. For everything that we do at the Library of Michigan, I am actually doing the neutral because it ties in easily with the IMLS questions. And IMLS uses the neutral. So once again, you should also take a look at the other things that you're forced to answer for funding or everything else and make sure that you're kind of going along with that, because then you can compare all your data on a continuum and make sure it all works together. So it's all fun. And another example of bias in a question, it doesn't necessarily have to be completely blatant like the political ones. It could be simple, like, are you one of the uncultured population who prefers milk chocolate to dark? What about you, Joe? Are you an uncultured person who likes milk chocolate and not dark?
Yeah, I was going to say, gee, no bias there at all.
Yeah, no bias at all.
For me, it's chocolate. It doesn't matter what kind it is.
Okay, yeah.
Just for the record.
Good to know. Okay, so one of the things I have for us here is a quick find the flaw or many flaws in this question, which is, where do you get information about how millennials are ruining our culture and our economy? TV, newspapers, magazines, online, Facebook. And this would be an example of a closed-ended question, once again. I'm just, you don't have to enter the answers anywhere. You can just think about it on your own, kind of think about like, yeah, so, you know, wherever you think we're ruining, sorry, I just said we, this is just upping the social desirability bias, so now you know that I'm a millennial, so maybe that's going to change your answers a little bit. But where do you learn about the various things millennials kill every day, whether it's economically or culturally, things like that. So here are some of the answers, and this is not even a completely, you know, a complete example of the wonderful biosphere that this is living in. So where do you get information about how millennials are ruining? So hopefully you see millennials are ruining as a biased phrase. Hopefully, I say that as I cry to myself as a millennial.
Yeah, that one was pretty clear.
Yeah. It's also a little bit of unclear wording. What is ruining ultimately? We don't know. Maybe to some people it isn't ruining. Maybe it's some people are doing it great. Then you have the double-barreled question here. It's culture and economy. They're two different things. Maybe, you know, economy for some things like napkins aren't doing so great, but avocados, from what I hear, avocados and bread doing great, avocado toast. So it's once again double-barreled. Then you have the limited number of options that do not allow people to account for everything. Maybe you only learn about what millennials are doing via the radio. There's also some unclear options and overlap here. A lot of people get their TV, their newspapers, their magazines, everything is online already. Then you also have online and Facebook. Facebook only exists online, and we also use jargon here. I use the FB acronym for it, or I guess initialism for Facebook. So there's a lot of things going on here, and I think I saw pop up a good way to ask the question, and it could be, like you said, how do you learn about how millennials are changing culture or changing economy? I would still maybe steer clear of affecting. It may have a little bit more of the cause and effect or slightly negative bias, but not nearly as much as are ruining the culture.
Right, right. But yeah, that's still showing bias.
And if you liked this activity, there is in the files in the bottom right, there's the Find the Flaw worksheet. It's another list. They don't have answers, so you just got to feel it out yourself. If you do want specific answers, you can always email us and we can go over them with you. But as you've pointed out, it's kind of an endless opportunity where every single person reads a question differently, which is, once again, death of the author. You send the survey out there and it's at the will of whoever's reading it ultimately to be able to figure out what they think it means. But there's a PDF and it has many wonderful questions like this where you can kind of break it down. So after going through all of those don'ts and do's, you probably are wondering, should I make a survey? And that's essentially a do make a survey section, is if you know what you want to measure. If it's something that you know you will change or want to change. Someone asked me the other day if I could help them make a survey regarding something, and as they were talking about it, it really kind of started becoming clear that they weren't going to make any changes. They were just kind of, making a survey to check the box, and that it wasn't something where I decided that I don't really think they need a survey. So we're instead going to change it. Instead of asking all these other questions, which adds to the survey fatigue, just ask the questions that they're, legally required to get to continue funding, things like that, because their hands are tied and they actually can't make any changes legally.
Right, right. And yeah, definitely be aware of the fact that there are surveys everywhere and you don't want to add to the cacophony unless it's worthwhile. You don't want to annoy people. You want to get information from them. So if it's something maybe that you have no intention of changing, eventually you're probably going to want to ask something down the road of these folks. So hold off until you have something that you're actually looking for change and can take the time to design a really well designed survey. Definitely.
And also make sure when you go into this, that you have a plan for how you will distribute this survey. You can't just say, here's a survey, it's there, it's done. What are the channels you're gonna send it through? Is it via email? Is it gonna be on your website? Is it gonna be both? Will you also have paper surveys available? Maybe you finish a presentation and you want people to fill out the paper surveys. Will you have it available also, maybe via a link on the screen, for people who aren't able to complete a paper survey or would need to have the entire paper survey read to them? You want to think about accessibility while you're doing this. Do make a survey if you're trying to reach a large group of people and you want to get generally the same kind of questions from each person. You can use logic to kind of change and switch which questions and answers they see, but if it's something where you need to get really in depth on really specific topics that are different per person, a survey is probably not the best way to go for that. And then do make a survey if you are okay with limiting the number of open-ended questions. Once again, if it is nothing but open-ended questions, the entire thing, you might be better off with an interview. There are, obviously, if you want to get all those open-ended questions from a large group of people, survey is probably still a good method to do it, but you also have to consider how much time will it take them to complete that survey. Will you get a lot of people dropping off midway through the survey? Will you get answers from every person? Things like that. So I have two slides here of quick tips, one for all surveys and then one for online surveys. And this first one is keep your scales uniform. Please, 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 especially if you're having someone else go over your survey data and it's not you. If you offer 5 options in one question, do it in the others as well. I have gone through surveys before for people where some questions they offer strongly agree to strongly disagree, and then in another one they offer only 4 options. So you're looking at different, you can't compare the data apples to apples. It then becomes apples to oranges and you have to explain everything, and it becomes a little more taxing to get through it all for everyone to understand. When you're trying to say, this got 3 out of 4 stars and someone else says this got 4 out of 5 stars, it just seems different and it gets confusing. And I would also say don't flip-flop on your scales either. If you're asking strongly agree to strongly disagree in one, don't switch it in the next. It is something where maybe you want people to stop. If you're asking and it starts strongly agree and people are inclined to just extra be nice to you, it's social desirability bias, things like that. Maybe switch it in the entire survey so it starts strongly disagree first, so then people have to stop, realize what's happening, and then really think about what they're going to do. But once again, keep it the same throughout the entire survey. And each survey should also follow a general outline. It's kind of like a basic essay where you have the introduction, the body, and the closing. Before the closing, that's where you slip in your demographic questions. They're the easiest, hopefully, for people to answer. Go through all of that, and it should hopefully go really smoothly. And always, 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 always for the demographic questions, ask only what you need. It's just easier on for everyone that's going over the survey. It's easier for the people. They know that they're not giving up so much privacy information. If you're asking age, I almost always do birth year, so there's less ambiguity in what's going on. Always, I tend to make age optional because people don't like sharing their age sometime. Who would have thought? And when you do it, or when you do any demographic questions, always include a note explaining why you need it. It makes people feel a little better, and it helps them. Maybe they wouldn't give their age, but if they're doing a survey that's specifically for these things, they'll be more inclined to do it. And then the last one is tiny incentives are better than a chance at a big incentive. So we've all seen, enter this survey and you'll be, entered into a raffle for a chance to win $100 or something like that. You're more likely to get people to complete the survey if you offer them a tiny piece of chocolate, milk or dark, Joe doesn't care, or something like that, a tiny pencil, pen, anything like that. People are more likely to complete it than if they, get entered into a raffle. Okay, you look like you wanted to say something, Joe.
I was just thinking, physical things, but if it's an online survey, you're not going to hand them physical something or other. You might have a coupon code for a service or whatever. Yeah, but you got to the point that you were getting to. So.
Okay, I'm glad.
You need to say.
Yep. Ooh, fine forgiveness is a great idea. You were right. So it's a little something, and it's really helpful, and because they know they're going to get it. It's not something a what if. It's a very tangible thing for them. And then quick tips for online surveys. If you remember the other question I was talking about where people entered in 7 instead of selecting 0 to 9, you won't believe the number of times people typed 7 in so many different ways. So what you can do is if it is something where like a phone number or something where it's going to be in a certain format, you can go into most survey tools and select the exact type you want it to be. So, they type in the word 1, it won't work, and it'll say you need to give a number. Or if they try to enter it with decimals, it'll say, I'm sorry, you can only use, integers or whole numbers, things like that. Once again, use other carefully or be prepared for more time cleaning your data. At the end of the day, with that question, the number of people who selected other and actually did use it for the intended purpose of somewhere where they don't quite fit into any of the things was very small. It was 2 people out of over 1,000 responses. So at the end of the day, it was one of those things where we kind of realized it wasn't worth the effort. So if it's something where, are you really going to consider those others? Is it something that's really going to have a big impact for you? Or is it something where you might as well, it's okay if people skip it instead. Consider that and weigh those options. Okay, this next one is something I'm not entirely sure of yet, but they spoke highly of it at the Research Institute for Public Libraries, and they said that rather than a check all that apply question, you will get more reliable data with a matrix of yes and no options. So rather than, what fruits do you enjoy? Apple, orange, pear. If you say, do you enjoy apples? Yes, no. Do you enjoy pears? Yes, no. You're more likely to get people to go through and do it systematically and think about it rather than just checking and maybe missing one. I will say that data analysis side, it does come through a little cleaner in a spreadsheet if you're going to be ending up doing graphs and things like that for it. So you don't get one of those things where it says apple, comma, pear, comma, and each one's different and you have to then break them out into different things. And then send surveys out. Tuesday mornings is supposed to be the best time. People are a little bit over the Monday funk. They haven't quite gotten to the swing of the week yet. They're still a little upset that they're in the first half of the week, but they're checking their email, they're going through all these things, and then you send the reminder on Thursday. With this in mind, That's why we sent this survey out on a Friday morning for this presentation, and that's probably why we don't get great responses for our surveys, Joe, because we send it at, honestly, the only time worse than Friday morning would be Saturdays, Friday evenings, times where you probably wouldn't be checking your work email.
Sunday at 9 a.m.?
Yeah, oh, I always take those surveys, Joe. But it's best to do it Tuesday mornings. It's when people probably want to kill a little time but still feel like they're doing something worthwhile. And then remember, always act with intentionality. What do you want to learn? Think about that with every single question you ask. And then who do you want to learn about? So, if you want to learn about story times, and what are the good times for story times, but you want to hear about it not from the people who go all the time, but from the people who have never been to a story time but you think would be a great fit, how are you going to reach them? And what are the questions you're going to ask? Because they're different. Power users are different from the non-users and things like that. So you always have to think about the intentionality behind everything when you do it. So what's next? Our next one is going to be easy breezy usability studies. Maybe she's born with it. Maybe it's iterative testing. Who knows? But it's, once again, we're keeping it light, airy, quick, the basics of all of these things. And also, hey, remember that survey that we're sending out at a really inopportune time, aka right now? Please open this link. It doesn't matter if you're watching the recording or not. It'll be a great help to us, and it will allow us to continue to get funding, which is really important to us, and we love it. But that essentially is the wrap up for survey. So if anyone has any questions, we would be happy to answer them. Says you already took the survey. Oh no, what did I do? Okay, I will go through and open that. I'm not sure what's going on, but do you have an idea?
Might be a setting because of the similar URL that SurveyMonkey is reading it, so we can have that fixed.
Yeah, we'll have that fixed. We'll send it out this afternoon also when we send out the recording of this. I also say if you ever need anyone to proofread a survey, I am more than happy to go over it, look at it, things like that. Another good place to get surveys that are like already tested, built-in templates is Project Outcome. We have it for all the public libraries in the state of Michigan. They have nice basic questions that if you want to get a good baseline for programs, services, things like that, they have them in different categories, and it's really useful to get them that way. But if anyone has any questions right now, feel free to type them in the chat box, and we will monitor this. Yes, Google Forms are also easy surveys, and they're really good for sharing data easily between people, especially if you're not, SurveyMonkey you have to have the account login, or then you have to export it to a spreadsheet, but you can get the nice Google Sheets, link that can go out to everyone and share it quite easily. It's something that I think we would use at the state of Michigan if we were legally allowed to do so.
Yeah, I love Google Sheets. Yep. That's my tool that I can't use here, but I would definitely use that. Yeah, absolutely.
But as we were saying, that's one where you get the creativity of writing your own questions and making sure they don't have bias or that they use everyday language and things like that. Project Outcome, the questions are pre-written for you. So it's, give or take. Maybe it won't be as specific for your needs, but it's something to consider. And
you do have the ability to add three questions.
They either fit into an already set form, or it's open-ended response. So if you wanted to ask a strongly agree to strongly disagree question and it wasn't one of their built-in,
right, you couldn't do that.
Couldn't do it. So there are pros and cons, but it's a pretty great tool nonetheless.
Right, and you can compare results across multiple things too. Yeah, that's why they do that. So.
Yep. Any other questions? Excellent. Yay.
So we are going to make this available to everyone who registered, so you'll be getting that link shortly. And then for the folks that didn't register, the way we do things over here for accessibility is we'll download this as a video, and then it needs to go over and get its subtitling, and then it will be available on our YouTube page. So right now there's 5 or 6 of these on our YouTube page, and we can send you out the link for that too if you're interested in the other webinars in the Save the Data series. We can get those to you. That's not a problem. Thanks for joining us today, folks. We'll
Yes.
see you on September 14th.
Have a nice weekend.